But weren't the Russians the first to put a satellite in space? And an animal? And a human for that matter?
Yeah, like it a dog went to space before Americans did. But at the cost of what? They couldn't stock a grocery store. Would you rather have that?
Not only did the Soviet Union not provide for the basic needs of their people, but they also lagged far behind other countries in science and technology. Sure, the Soviet Union was the first to launch a satellite into space, but socialist economists Nikolai Shmelev and Vladimir Popov argue that the Soviet Union's early scientific achievements like these were exceptions in a government-planned economy plagued by inefficiency and poor planning. A government-planned economy and the lack of economic incentives made Soviet scientists, doctors, and students terribly equipped to compete with other industrial nations. In the 1980s, the Soviet Union had more scientists per capita and was spending a greater proportion of the nation's income on scientific research than any other nation on Earth. Due to inefficient production caused by central planning, the scientists were stuck doing research with outdated and inadequate equipment. Their technology had become so inferior that the Soviets excelled only in those endeavors which required little more than a pencil and paper. They had more physicians per capita than any other nation, but lacked basic medical equipment. This corresponds with a decrease in life expectancy between the 1960s and the 1980s. Equipment for university students was grossly inadequate. Shmelev and Popov write that by the late 1980s, Moscow State University had only 128 general-purpose computers for 30,000 students. The United States vastly outperformed the Soviet Union in producing technology. For example, the Soviet Union during the 1980s possessed about 100,000 personal computers, whereas the annual output of personal computers in the United States is 5 to 6 million. Western market-oriented economies, where resources were guided largely by prices, profits, and losses, proved to be far better at allocating resources than the planned Soviet economy.